Welcome to this epic video. This is why AMS has a lower ACOS than sponsored products. My name is Taylor Benchwood. I specialize in AMS and I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. So I want to talk to you about why AMS in general has a lower ACOS than sponsored products. I have data here to show you and I have some examples from Amazon and some other things to talk to you about why this usually is the case. So first thing is first, the rule number one when why AMS has lower ACOS than sponsored products is there's a barrier to entry. You need to be brand registered in order to run headline search ads, and this is a barrier to entry to run the ads, which means that 80% of sellers are too freaking lazy to do it. I don't know the number, I just randomly said 80%. But a lot of sellers that I talk to don't even really test headline search ads because they haven't gone through the process of becoming brand registered, because either they don't see the benefit of it or they're too lazy, and most business owners are pretty freaking lazy. So this is a huge opportunity for you, because the less sellers that are using a certain type of ad placement or platform, the lower the average cost per click and the competition to win that ad. And let's show you a quick example. When you search coffee grinder on Amazon, I just found this. This is why I actually made this video. I was searching on Amazon, I saw coffee grinder, and this Masterdam rolling supplies. This is for grinding marijuana, weed, and they are showing up when you search coffee grinder because they're probably bidding on the keyword grinder. And when somebody puts the word coffee grinder, their phrase match on the keyword grinder is overriding another company that is an actual coffee grinder for this headline search ad. So why am I telling you this? Because this is ridiculous that you have a grinder for marijuana showing up instead of a coffee grinder here. That basically means like one of two things. One, either none of these huge competitors that are making probably hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month on these coffee grinders don't value this massive ad placement, or Amazon's algorithm's completely effed, which I don't think it's the second one. I definitely know that there's just very few coffee grinder sellers that are actually bidding on this keyword. Now you might search this again and see that a coffee grinder actually shows up. Hey, that's totally fine. Again, this isn't always going to be the case where a totally irrelevant product to the product that you're searching shows up in the headline ad placement. But nonetheless, I've seen this time and time again with so many different types of competitive products, such as like pencils, other things like productivity planners, like coffee grinders that we just showed here, and like supplements like digestive enzymes I've seen before. Different things where you search these keywords for those products and a totally different product shows up in the headline search ad because nobody's freaking using it. And that's because there is a barrier to entry, so not everybody is still using it and not everybody thinks it's worth using. So the second reason why AMS has a lower ACOS than sponsored products is because product display ads, which is the second type of ad in AMS, isn't even available in Seller Central. So if you're familiar with what product display ads are, these are the ads that show up right beneath your buy box, and they show up right beneath that little add to cart button. Let's see if one pops up here. Okay, none didn't pop up, but it usually pops up right here in this section, where if you can see my little mouse, and you might click on your listing and see that, okay, that ad is only accessible through headline search ads and not through sponsored products, which means that 99% or whoever the amount of sellers that are in Seller Central that don't have an AMS account can't run product display ads. Again, this means that the average cost per click is lower than sponsored products, and so again, that results in a lower ACOS. So let's actually dive into the data and I'll show you proof that the ACOS is actually lower. So this is 13 accounts that we manage. I did a previous video on the performance of AMS versus PPC. This is the same data. Notice the PPC ACOS here. This is 30-day data across 13 accounts that are fairly large, most of them 7 to 8 figures. One is probably, yeah, no, definitely not 9 figures, but 7 to 8 figure accounts. PPC ACOS, you can see, is pretty like 28% on this account for the PPC, and the AMS is 17. So again, the AMS ACOS is about 10% lower, which is crazy. That's actually a 40% ACOS difference. This is just getting you the percentage difference between the PPC and AMS right here. So account right here, 31% in PPC, 24% in AMS. Again, you keep going down the list and you're going to see that AMS is generally lower across the board. There's one account here where it isn't lower, but when you average it and you take the difference, on average AMS comes out to be 17% less ACOS than the sponsored products. Now this doesn't mean that if you have a 20% ACOS in PPC that AMS is going to be 3%. I mean a percentage of a percentage. Okay, so if you are running a 20% ACOS in sponsored products, your AMS ACOS should be around 16.5%, which you may not think, okay, that's not a huge amount, but when you're doing $100,000 or $363,000 a month in sales on AMS, or 140, whatever it is, it amounts to a lot. And so a lot of the clients and people, the companies that we work with, they of course love it because they're profiting a lot more. So hopefully you found this valuable, and if you have some thoughts on this or other questions or other reasons why you think AMS ACOS is lower than sponsored products, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear it. These are the two major factors that I want to go over. One is that there's a barrier to entry to get into AMS ads. You need to either be brand registered to run the headline search ads, or you need to get an AMS account to run the product display ads. So there's a barrier to entry for both these ad types. And the second thing is that you can search on Amazon, look at different keywords when you search, and you'll see that, like, when you search coffee grinder, a coffee grinder doesn't show up. It's a marijuana grinder, weed grinder, which is totally irrelevant to what you're actually searching. So that weed grinder is able to win that ad placement, even though it's a very competitive keyword, like in general, yet they're able to win it. And that's because, you know, none of those major coffee grinders are actually running the ads there. The third reason is because I have data here to show you on big accounts where we spend a lot of money consistently every single day, day in, day out, and I show you the data. So it's hard to argue when you actually look at the data across most of these accounts. The ACOS in general is lower, and it could be a lot lower. We're just basically working with our clients to follow the guides on what they want their target ACOS to be. So if you need help with your AMS, feel free to reach out, comment below the video. I'll check it out. If you don't know who I am, what I do, my background is helping sellers with AMS. My partner, Sean Smith, we merged together to create a badass training program for 7 to 8 figure sellers on Amazon. If you're 6 figures, you might be able to come into the training program, but for the most part, I just release these videos to help people. So hopefully you liked it. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Ciao.